Men, what's the most traumatic thing men did to you in school? The guys in my school used to say they would only rail me if they put a paper bag over my head, so my friend did something that intimately confused them. The boys in my school used to call me Butterface because I have an hourglass figure, voluptuous hair, and I'm short. Everything was perfect about me but my face. For years I was called Thin Crust Pizza, Railbook and Mayo Craters. The final straw was being called Butterface because it meant that I was at a stage where guys wanted me, but the only thing holding them back from pursuing me was my face. They always said, I want a nut everywhere on her but her face. Really clever. This had completely messed up my self-esteem and I ended up being a loner in school. However, the one incident that truly destroyed me came when a new boy transferred to our school. He was semi-attractive, and while I didn't have a crush on him, I did wish that we could be friends if not for my situation. But all my dreams came crashing down one day when he confronted me in the hallway. No one else was there, but I could see a group of boys hiding behind a corner. In a whisper, the new boy took out a $20 note and said to me, I heard you'll do anything for this. We can go under the stairwell if you want. I heard snickering and laughing and immediately realized that this was a prank. However, it being a prank didn't mean that it severely hurt my feelings. I still had class, but because I was on the verge of crying, I signed myself out of school and locked myself in my house. The entire nightmare completely destroyed any shred of self-esteem I had left, and I couldn't even bring myself to get out of bed for the next couple of days, let alone go to school. My parents knew that I was a moody, isolated kid, and just figured that I was going through something and left me alone. I just sat in my room, feeling ashamed and reliving the horrifying day before crying myself to sleep. I was scared that, even when I did finish school, people would still view me as Butterface. I didn't start to feel better until my best friend Gabby visited me after I hadn't been to school in 3 days. Gabby and I have been friends since 3rd grade by some miracle. She had friends in every clique and always had this sunny energy to her. Even though I was insanely jealous of her, she had never been anything but loving and supportive to me and never made me feel judged. Just having someone come check on me and ask how I was feeling made me burst out in tears and admit to her that I was tired of being an ugly loser. Gabby said it wasn't true, and all she wanted was for me to feel better about myself. She said that none of the holes at school mattered and my self-esteem started and ended with me alone. She called me beautiful with complete honesty in her voice, and said that people wouldn't have paid thousands for a body like mine. I finally stopped crying and just listened to her. That's when she reminded me that the first thing that people see is my face. She explained how she herself had only started to feel confident after finding the one skincare routine that worked for her after testing out dozens of random luxury skincare brands and spending hundreds of dollars. I sat up as she reached into her bag and pulled out 2 tiny bottles. The little kit she brought for me was a micro-infusion system. She said that the one thing that's given her permanent results was this home micro-needling kit, which she had been using for months now. When she first mentioned needles, I was a little worried, but as I examined her glowing sun-kissed skin I knew whatever Gabby was using was worth a try. She described how it had cleared away all of her dark spots and blemishes, and that she used it every 2 weeks. Gabby had given me hope for my appearance along with that small gift. She ended up sleeping over and we stayed up all night watching reality TV and eating our favorite snacks. Before we went to sleep,